Have you ever found yourself endlessly scratching your scalp, convinced it's just stubborn, dandruff, or dry air? But it lingers no matter what shampoo you try. If you're pas soixante, this nagging sensation might be far more than skin deep. It's potentially a stealthy alert from your body, flagging serious conditions that could quietly sap your energy and years. With aging skin becoming more vulnerable, diabetes often takes center stage by igniting nerve inflammation and disrupting moisture balance. But it's not alone. In this eye-opening video, we'll reveal 5 unexpected diseases tied to scalp itching, complete with fresh perspectives, inspiring recovery stories, and simple at-home tests to guide you. The final one might just surprise you the most. Ready to uncover the truth and take charge? Subscribe now, smack that bell, and comment 1 if this resonates. Let's dive in and soothe those mysteries. Disease 1: Nutrient deficiencies, the vitality vacuum. Envision your scalp as a thriving garden, needing constant nourishment. When key nutrients dwindle, often from poor diet, malabsorption in aging guts, or medications. After 60, the soil turns barren. It sucks away vitality and sparks relentless itching. Deficiencies in vitamin B6, iron, zinc, vitamin D, or essential fatty acids disrupt skin barriers. This leads to dryness, flaking, and nerve irritation that manifests as a deep, persistent scalp tingle. Vitamin B6 shortage, for instance, mimics seborrheic dermatitis with greasy scales and itch on the scalp. Iron lack causes brittle hair and sensitive follicles. Zinc dips lead to scaling and irritation. Vitamin D voids height and dryness. Fatty acid shortfalls impair moisture retention. All of this is amplified in elders by reduced appetite or digestive efficiency. The itch feels like a subtle vacuum pulling at your comfort, often without rash. Worsening in winter or with stress, this vacuum drains more than skin health. Chronic deficiencies foster anemia from iron loss. They weaken immunity and energy, or cause bone fragility from vitamin D gaps, potentially shortening life by years through falls. Infections, or heart strain. The scalp itch emerges as a quiet alert, but vacuuming it away unchecked deepens the void. Fonder Lydia, a 9-year-old potter whose clay shaping sessions soured with a scalp itch that flaked like dried earth. She linked it to studio dust, but it merged with fatigue and brittle nails. Blood tests spotlighted low iron, zinc, and B6 from Vegelite meals and gut issues. Lydia replenished with spinach salads, nut sprinkles, and sunny walks. The itch evaporated in a month. Her pot spun smoother, and she molded more creative eras into her life. Questioning if this vacuums your essence. A basic self-survey: examine your nails if pale or spoon-shaped. Iron might be low. Or assess hair if thinning unusually. Zinc could be the culprit. Feel your energy too if dragging despite rest. B6 or D shortages may loom. These are hints, not certainties. Nutrient panels from docs clarify: to refill this vacuum, stock up strategically. Feast on B6 rich bananas and chickpeas. Iron-packed lean meats or beans with vitamin C for absorption. Zinc from oysters or seeds. D via fortified milks or sunlight. And fatty acids through walnuts or fish for itch soothing. Massage with omega-infused oils or gentle washes. Supplements under guidance, bridge gaps, periodic blood checks, especially for vegetarians or those with absorption woes. Prevent voids early. By nourishing the garden, you banish the vacuum and bloom into fuller, itch-free vitality. The inflammation igniter. Imagine your scalp as a delicate ecosystem, where blood sugar acts like a wildfire starter. In unmanaged diabetes, surging glucose levels spark widespread inflammation. They damage tiny nerves and vessels that supply the skin This neuropathy dries out the scalp, breeding itchiness that feels like a constant buzz or prick, often without visible dandruff or rash. It intensifies in seniors as insulin sensitivity fades with age. High sugar also invites yeast overgrowth like candida. This turns the area into a moist, irritated zone, prone to fungal rashes that amplify the scratch. The itch might pulse after sweets or in warmth, signaling poor circulation that leaves skin starved and vulnerable. Beyond the surface torment, this igniter endangers your entire timeline. Uncontrolled diabetes accelerates heart disease, kidney woes, and nerve decay. It potentially lops off 10 to 15 years through compounded risks like strokes or infections. The scalp itch serves as an early flare, but dismissing it lets flames spread unchecked. Envision Rosa, a 6-7-year-old quilter whose intricate patterns blurred under a relentless scalp tingle that no hack could hide. She pinned it on her new conditioner at first, but the itch deepened, joining thirst and weariness. A clinic visit exposed elevated glucose from type 2 diabetes. Rooted in family genes and sedentary days, Rosa ignited change with berry-packed breakfasts, herbal walks, and glucose tracking. The itch cooled within a month, her levels balanced, and she stitched more colorful quilts into her extended tapestry. Suspecting this blaze in your routine, a quick home probe fast overnight and use an affordable meter to check blood sugar. If it tops 100 milligrams per deciliter consistently, it's a spark worth investigating. Or gently pinch your scalp skin. If it rebounds sluggishly, dehydration from sugar spikes may be fueling dryness. These are nudges, not final calls. Consult pros for accuracy. To douse this igniter, fuel wisely. Opt for whole grains and greens to curb spikes. Sip water abundantly, and weave in daily movement like chair yoga for better flow. For itch relief, try antifungal shampoos if yeast is suspected, or moisturizing oils to restore barrier. Doctors might prescribe metformin to tame roots. Regular A1C screenings, especially with weight changes. Snuff out embers early. By quenching the inflammation, you clear the itch and kindle brighter. Longer days. Thyroid disorders, the hormone havoc wreaker. Envision your thyroid as a small powerhouse in your neck. It pumps out hormones that fine-tune metabolism, energy, and even skin health. But after treads, disorders like hypothyroidism, where output drops, or hyperthyroidism, where its surges become more prevalent. This comes from autoimmune glitches, iodine dips, or natural aging slowdowns. In hypothyroidism, low hormones cause skin to dry and thicken. They reduce natural oils and create a barrier breach that invites irritation and persistent scalp itching. Hyperthyroidism, on the flip side, ramps up heat and sweat. It fosters moist environments where itch-inducing inflammation thrives. Often without flakes or bumps, this scalp-specific tingle can feel like a subtle crawl or sharp pricks. Worsening in dry air or stress, it hits elders harder. As thyroid efficiency naturally ebbs, the havoc on your lifespan, these imbalances extend beyond itch. Hypothyroidism drags in fatigue, weight struggles, and heart rhythm issues, while hyperthyroidism strains bones and pulses, potentially trimming 5 to 10 years via complications like osteoporosis or cardiac events. The scalp signal is a vital early whisper, but tuning it out lets chaos build. Picture Miriam, a 6-8-year-old librarian whose love for quiet reads was shattered by a constant scalp itch that felt like invisible ants marching. She blamed library dust initially, but it paired with chilly hands and sluggish days. Tests uncovered hypothyroidism tied to autoimmune roots. Miriam harmonized with hormone pills, iodine boosted, Scalp salads, and calming meditations. The itch quieted in weeks. Her pep returned, and she curated more serene shelves for her prolonged chapters. Worry this reeks in your world. An easy self-scan monitor your energy if unexplained tiredness lingers with dry hair. It might point thyroid ward, or check pulse if irregular. Jot it down. Feel your neck base too if puffy or sore. It's a cue for pros. These are prompts, not proofs. TSH bloodwork seals it. To mend this havoc, nourish smartly. Munch selenium-rich Brazil nuts and zinc-packed seeds to support gland function. Dodge goitrogen-heavy raw cruciferous veggies in excess. And lace in light exercises like swimming. For itch calm, slather gentle. Oil-based conditioners or seek prescribed creams. Treatments like levothyroxine often resolve roots. Yearly thyroid screens, especially with family flags. Catch reeks early. By restoring hormonal harmony, you silence the itch and orchestrate enduring wellness. Fungal infections, the microbial marauder. Think of your scalp as a warm, hidden garden where opportunistic fungi like Malassezia or dermatophytes can invade. They thrive in moist crevices weakened by age, sweat, or compromised immunity after 60. These marauders burrow into hair follicles. They trigger seborrheic dermatitis or tinea capitis, which manifest as flaky, red patches with intense itching that feels like a fiery crawl. Often accompanied by oily scales or hair thinning, the itch persists stubbornly. It worsens in humidity or with oily hair products, and targets seniors more due to slower cell turnover and common comorbidities like diabetes that sweeten the terrain for growth. This invader's toll on longevity, while not directly fatal, chronic infections erode quality of life through discomfort, sleep loss, and secondary bacterial overlays. These heighten inflammation. They indirectly fuel heart, stress, or immune drain that shave years off in vulnerable elders. Ignoring the marauder risks, scarring alopecia, or systemic spread in rare cases. Recall Javier, a 65-year-old fisherman whose scalp itch turned casting lines into a scratchy ordeal. He mistook it for saltwater irritation. The tingle evolved into crusty spots, disrupting his dawn outings. A dermatologist diagnosed fungal overgrowth from shared hats and humid gear. Javier countered with medicated shampoos, airy cotton caps, and probiotic yogurt boosts. The itch retreated in a fortnight. His hair strengthened, and he reeled in more tranquil tides for his sunset years. Curious if this marauds your territory? A simple mirror check part your hair and scan for yellow scales or bald spots. If they ooze or smell musty, it's a raid alert. Or gently scrape a flake if it persists beyond washing. Note for experts: these are signs, not verdicts. Cultures or biopsies confirm. To repel this marauder, fortify defenses. Wash with antifungal teas like ketoconazole twice weekly. Keep scalp dry with breathable fabrics. And nourish gut flora via fermented foods to bolster overall resistance. Avoid sharing combs or helmets. And if diabetic, stabiliza sugars to the nai fungi fuel. For relief, apply tea tree oil dilutions or prescribed creams. Persistent cases may need oral antifungals. Routine scalp exams, especially in warm climates. Evict invaders early. By outmaneuvering these microbes, you reclaim a calm crown and sail smoother into enduring horizons. Skin cancer, the sun-scorched sentinel. Picture your scalp as a front line exposed to decades of sun's rays. Accumulated UV damage mutates cells into precancerous actinic keratoses, or full-blown malignancies like basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell, or melanoma. In seniors over 60, this sentinel awakens as rough, scaly patches or sores that itch persistently, often hidden under hair and feeling like a gritty burn or tender spot that crusts and reopens. The itch stems from inflamed, abnormal growths disrupting skin layers, exacerbated by fair skin, outdoor lifestyles, or weakened immunity with age, making it a delayed alarm that flares in sun-exposed folks. This scorch threat slashes longevity starkly. While early lesions are treatable, ignored cancers metastasize to lymph nodes or organs. Dropping survival rates. Melanoma alone can have life expectancy if advanced. Through invasive spreads that demand aggressive therapies and steal quality years. Contemplate Elias, a 70-year-old hiker whose trailside itch evolved from what he thought was helmet chafing into bumpy, bleeding spots. The tingle interrupted his treks. Blending with fatigue, biopsies confirms squamous cell carcinoma from lifelong sun exposure. Elias shielded with wide brim hats, topical creams, and surgical removal. The itch healed post-treatment, his paths cleared, and he hiked fresher vistas into his bonus seasons. Anxious, this sentinels your scalp. A mirror-assisted inspection part, hair sections, and hunt for pinkish, rough plaques or moles shifting in size, color, or shape. If they bleed easily or won't heal, it's a beacon for attention. Or use a phone camera for hard-to-see areas. Changes over weeks, warrant note. These are warnings. Note: diagnose, dermatologist exams verify. To fortify against this sun-scorched foe, Leia, defenses. Slather broad-spectrum SPF 30 on scalp daily, even under hats, and seek shade during peak hours. Embrace antioxidant-rich eats like tomatoes and green tea to repair cellular damage internally. For itch easing, apply soothing aloe gels or prescribe steroids. Suspicious spots may need freezing or excision. Annual skin surveys, particularly for light-skinned or burn-prone individuals. Spot sentinels early. By heeding this scorch signal, you protect your crown and march towards sunnier. L'entier trail. To wrap this up, that stubborn scalp itch beyond 60 might whisper warnings of diabetes flames, thyroid tempests, fungal ambushes, nutrivois, or cancer shadows. H eroding your spark if overlooked. Tune in early with home scans and doc chats. Weave in balanced bites and gentle care to hush the tingle and stretch your joyful horizon. Which clue surprised you most? Or what's your itch-busting plan? Share below your insights, light our path. Dug this dive? Smash like, subscribe for health sparks, and spread the word. Embrace the signals. Live itch-free and bold. Catch you soon.